Hello, in this video I shall be giving the analysis of a topic. The topic is about an open debate that recently United Nations Security Council conducted. The topic of this debate is enhancing maritime security, a case for international cooperation. So this is the topic of the debate and India convened this particular debate. It is all about maritime security, as we can know how internationally everybody cooperates with maritime security. This is the gist of this topic. And in this, our Prime Minister of India, he addressed on oceans. In a brief, I have given here what he spoke. He spoke that oceans are a common heritage of all human beings and they are the lifeline of planet's future. And for that reason, everybody, the whole of global community must involve for their betterment. There is a need for far-sighted vision regarding oceans, maritime securities, waterways, seaways and all. And there has to be a common framework to tackle with the challenges of maritime security. Some of these challenges are about maritime disputes between various countries and certain natural disasters that are unforeseen, and we need to give relief to these natural disasters as soon as possible. He finally also spoke about India's culture, history and geography, how they are related to maritime. As India is a peninsula, we have three sides of water. Very important seaways are present, so our geography also supports to oceans and how we must support these waterways. So this is what in a way he spoke in a small way. That was a big lecture. And India has got a huge coastline, so we are very much related to maritime, and India has got also large island chains around it in these seas that are surrounding it, and there are very important sea lanes of communication for transport, trade, commerce in and around India. So in these ways, India is much related to oceans than any other country in our area. The next thing is maritime traditions. It is not new to India about maritime, but since past ancient times, we have these maritime traditions. Our ancient mariners, they were doing trade with various other people like Mesopotamian civilization, African civilization like that. So it is not a new thing to India. And even in 15th century when Vasco da Gama discovered sea route to India, it was done with the help of a Gujarati seafarer. So that was the reason why Vasco da Gama had to pilot to the west coast of India. Even in our Sanskrit text, there is this word of Navgat, which means navigation. So this is not new to India. And India supports free and open trade right from the ancient times. So that is considered something like civilizational ethos regarding maritime. And even our past that is our ancient history, which includes Indus Valley civilization, it was also having trade relations with Mesopotamians, that was through maritime. And some of the major religions in India, ancient India, like Buddhism, Hinduism, they spread to the Southeast Asia through these sea routes. So in this way, we are very much related to maritime since ancient times. Some of the key examples of our locations about maritime are Lothal, it was in Gujarat. It is an Indus Valley civilization. It is a key maritime center. Even a dockyard is found over there in Lothal in excavations. And other things are Kutch and Kathiawar. These are also in Gujarat. They were known to have relations, these areas, people of these areas were known to have relations of trade with Africans. So that was with maritime. And Malabar coast is also famous for this maritime shipbuilding and all. And there was an indigenous shipbuilding in India even in the past, in this year of 1960 to 1760 to 1778. So even in 18th century we were building our indigenous ships. That was during the time of the rule of Rao Gorji II in this area of Kutch. And this ship successfully had gone to England and had come back. So in this way we are very much related to shipbuilding, maritime, seaways, ocean trade and all. Next initiative, the one initiative that India is spearheading about maritime is Sagar, security and growth for all in the region. The region meant Indian Ocean and Pacific region. So IOP region, Indian Ocean Pacific region. So India wants to include everybody in the betterment of this region, Indo-Pacific region we call it. And this is an inclusive framework to include all countries for the betterment of oceans in through this Sagar project. And this Sagar project is about trade, commerce and security in this region. So in all these ways, India is very much related to maritime security. The next thing is trade regarding maritime. 90% of global trade happens through these ocean routes and sea routes because this is the most cost effective mode of transportation. So in this way, it is very important to global economy. One major example for this trade is Suez Canal. In 2021, in the beginning of the year, there was an accidental blockage of this Suez Canal, due to which there was a great trade loss of billions of dollars. So, some worth of billions of dollars were lost in our trade in the whole world. And in 1956, there was a small controversy that Egypt wanted to make this Suez Canal nationalized, as this is present near inside Egypt, and the ships have to go through Egypt with the permission of Egypt. It tried to nationalize this canal, but due to the military intervention of great powers, this didn't happen. So we can see how important Suez Canal is, one major example for maritime trade. The next thing is protection. As this is very important for trade and 90% of global trade is happening through it, we need to protect maritime trade. So for that reason, we need to not disrupt the sea lanes. Sea lanes are the lanes of connectivity, and we need to be doing well with Indo-Pacific checkpoints. Indo-Pacific region is very famous for these important trade sea lanes. For commercial ships or military ships, for any other reason, Indo-Pacific region is very important. So the checkpoints have to be functioning well. There has to be freedom of navigation. Unlike China imposed sanctions on passage through South China Sea, unlike that, we need to give freedom of navigation to all others for free trade, because that is going to be the future of the global economy, because that is going to transport or connect critical supply chains to countries, and all of this is about economy. So we need to protect maritime and seaways, sea lanes, checkpoints and all. There are two terms here, mare liberum and mare clausum. That means open seas and closed seas. Open seas are good for trade. We need to open up our seas in our territories for trade, for free movement of ships. But closed seas are due to grudge, due to negative feelings, and that is very wrong to society, to the whole world, for global economy and all. So one bad example is South China Sea, where China is not allowing people to ships to move freely for trade, which is causing a huge deterrent to global economy. So that is mare clausum, that is closed seas, which is bad. The next thing is dispute settlement. There are international laws to settle these disputes regarding maritime issues. One important thing is UNCLOS, United Nations Convention on Law of Seas. This is a legal framework governing body for all maritime issues. There is also a court to this end, that is Permanent Court of Arbitration. So this court, I have given two examples here, one good example and one bad example, where the ruling of this court is respected and in the other it's not respected. In 2014, there was an issue between India and Bangladesh. This was settled by Permanent Court of Arbitration. Because of this ruling, India and Bangladesh respected the order and they were fine today. But in 2016, China and Philippines case, China did not accept the reward of this court. So it is still a controversy, it is still a problem and conflict there in China Pacific. So because of this respect given by India to Permanent Court of Arbitration, we are fine today with our Bangladesh maritime relations. The next thing is development. We need to develop the infrastructure of maritime and connectivity. For this reason, there are so many other things, but one major development initiative is Blue Dot Network. Blue Dot Network is a certification initiative taken up by three countries, the United States, Australia and Japan. They work this Blue Dot Network, in which they certify to all the connectivities, to all the infrastructure regarding maritime. So this is one plain transparent network, Blue Dot Network, regarding development of international maritime. Coming to international relations of India with other countries, we have certain things regarding maritime. The first thing is RECAAP. That means it stands for Regional Cooperation Agreement on Combating Piracy and Armed Robbery Against Ships in Asia. So this is an initiative in which India is participating, and we also have White Shipping Agreement. White Shipping Agreement is to share, it is a protocol to share commercial ships information with these countries with which we have this agreement. IFC-IOR stands for Information Fusion Center in the region of Indian Ocean region. So that is to fuse information and to share with one another. We have this at Gurugram. We have its center at Gurugram, in which various officials from Australia, US and Japan, they work over there. And we also conduct exercises with our friendly countries, these training slots of maritime exercises and tsunami relief. We were spearheading this in 2004 when we gave good relief, and India was called the first responder to tsunami relief. And in 2020 Mauritius cyclone, our Indian Air Force responded so well. The final say is India always stands as a key player in the shared commons. So as oceans are shared commons, we are still the key players in this particular aspect of maritime. So this is the topic about maritime, how to enhance the maritime security and all, and thank you.